evening, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and welcome to Barnabo Field on the beautiful campus of Romeo, Michigan High School for tonight's NISA soccer match, featuring Albion San Diego and your Michigan Stars. Officials are designed by NISA for this soccer match, the head referee, Ryan Hammond. Assistant referee number 1, Aaron Sherrill. Assistant referee number 2, Jeremy Valentine. And the fourth official, Michael Casiaro. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Active duty and veterans may leave their caps on while rendering the military salute as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome, everybody, to Midweek on 11. We're at Romeo High School for a rematch of last year's NISA Championship Final, the Michigan Stars and Albion San Diego. Hey again, everybody. Mason Lowry and Chris Black. Great to have you here. Both teams coming off of wins on Friday here, ironically enough, with Albion San Diego beating Gold Star Detroit 1-0 and a goal from Cyrus Tran. Michigan Stars, a wild second half, saw them win 2-1 on a late winner from Leon Marich. I tell you one thing, we're hoping to see fewer red cards tonight than you and I saw here on Friday.
Yeah, we want open play, not open access to the card just to start throwing. So hopefully we see some attacking. But, you know, this quickly after two teams play up here in Michigan, this quickly coming back onto the pitch, you wonder how much is in the tank anyways. Maybe they go a little bit hesitant at first and let the game come to then. But only time will tell how these two teams play, but both feeling good on the confidence off of their wins just earlier in the weekend.
Yeah, the big story for Michigan Stars, they're a bit banged up right now. Garrett Hogbin, who scored the opening goal in the win over LA Force last time out, he is out of the lineup. Prosper Figby comes in, takes over at his center back spot. Yakov Shmelev, the right back, who assisted on Garrett Hogbin's goal in the first half, he is also out. So Tatenda Makruva in goal. Robert Yunchai, Prosper Figby, Katero Umeda, Leon Marich, the hero, of course, from Friday night, Andres Shalbad, Hunter Olsen, Ahmed Shaibu Jr. back in the starting.
The ball just sneaking in. Just enough traffic getting mixed up with Trans. He wasn't able to get anything clean on it. Center official having nothing of a call this early. Waved it off right away when Tran went down. Trying to give a little acknowledgement for the ball played in. And if that line of Michigan Stars plays that tight, Tran gets vertical like that, makes good runs. In that manner, he's going to be difficult to keep track of. And I don't think you want a track meet with him into space.
Yeah, we know Cyrus Tran and his game quite well. Former Michigan Star player the last couple of seasons. It's difficult playing in the attack for the Stars because you have to share a forward line with Leon Marich, and unless he is really unable to go, he's not coming out of the starting 11.
And last game, he started up high and started drifting out wide, and we saw that give him a lot of opportunities later as he drifted out to the flank. Stars were able to find him with diagonal balls in a dangerous positions. So it was fun to watch him kind of change. In this game, he's kind of camped out. Same thing, way wide again, looking for some balls played in over the top. That one not quite getting to him, but you can see the idea. He wants to be played in that flank and then hold up play a little bit for his teammates.
Knocked to Ronaldo Pineda, who won that throw-in, taken quickly. Gabera will chase after it. Prosper Figby, though, will beat him to the ball. And Shalbot then wins the throw-in. Of course, Michigan Stars were already without some guys, Mo Alawine and Nash Popovich, Noah Robinson, who started the season so promisingly. A goal and an assist in his first 2 games. He's been injured for quite some time. Hasn't played in a few months. So Michigan Stars' depth really being tested. Jacob Campbell is out. Milo Barton is injured as well. Warren Barton's son. Ernest Mitchell with a touch to Daniel Bedoya. 5 assists so far this year, top of the NISA assist table. That's well played to the feet of Tyler Gabera. And Gabera goes down again. Ryan Homick waves away an appeal for a penalty. And Prosper Figby in kind of unfamiliar territory this year. First time we have seen him, you and I, play center back. When he has played, he has been either a holding midfielder or kind of an all-purpose sub coming off to see games off late.
Yeah, and really with this new back line, Albion obviously knows what's going on. They know the score here about what's available maybe for runs, and right away tested. Gabera, great run in behind. Tran, great run in behind. They're running at this back line in the spaces. You might have to see the flank players, the outside backs, Shalbod on that far side. He might need to pinch in a little bit just until Prosper Figby can really settle into that position. Because even right now he's trying to keep track of Tran's movement off the ball, trying to get in behind him on the throw-in. So that back line might have to absorb a little bit, drop a little more centrally. Maybe they can't play that high line that they're used to when they're at the full complement of players along the back.
That's Ahmed Shaibu Jr. He's been an effective defensive midfielder so far this season in a new role tonight at left back. Anthony Bowie won that cleanly, trying to slot it through for the feet of Leon Marich. Down he goes as he tried to change direction. Umeda and Brown trying to conspire to win it back, but unable to take possession from Bedoya. They're one of the unformed teams in the league right now, Albion. 3 wins and 2 draws in their last 5. It's let loose for Shinya Kodono, who was with Cal United Strikers last year. 1v1 against Ahmed Shaibu, and that is what makes him so difficult to play against. His legs are so darn long. More than a head taller than Kodono, puts a foot in there ahead of Klazuski. That's Mitchell in his 2nd year with San Diego. Native of Montclair, New Jersey. Big, long center back. '29 is Almeida. Twin towers in the heart of that back line for San Diego, both at 6'4". Almeida has spent most of his career playing in the Spanish lower leagues. That's a good read by Shalbot. Throw in for Albion, coached by Diego Gomez, all of 33 years old, a former youth goalkeeper when he was very young with both Real Madrid and Barcelona. Ended up playing in Hong Kong and caught on with AC Milan's youth setup there. It's behind Ezra Brown. Just getting the sense, Chris, how both teams have set themselves up here. It might be the sort of night where chances are few and far between.
Yeah, really, when Albion's trying to break anything through, it's been with runners towards that back line. And they've been very patient to send the ball. So the runs keep recycling, but if it's not on, the ball hasn't been sent. But that means when the Michigan Stars do get the ball, that's about the only place they can go right there, and he's onside.
That did not quite run over the line, according to the linesman, and here comes Leon Marich. That's a good slide in from Almeida, at the expense of a corner.
Solid tackle.
I thought for sure that ball had run over the line, but the linesman had a look and didn't put his flag up.
Yeah, I think they're complaining at both ARs. You got the one side, they want it called out of bounds. The other side, they want it called offside. Definitely wasn't an offside. We had a pretty good angle on that for this side, but up to that point, Albion had done a good job when they did turn over a ball, being present enough to pressure and not give a lot of opportunity for Michigan Stars. But then their back line was high, and that's what allowed Marich to make that run down this near side because they're just a little bit disorganized in the back.
Hunter Olsen's corner is deep. Robert Yunchai has a go, but always high and wide.
That is the first roof ball of the season I've seen. That is on the concession stand. It's going to take a special key to get up there, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that ever in our now season and a half calling matches up here.
It's the first one I've seen. And it was on the bounce, too.
Ben Roach, the Albion keeper, is probably happy that this is being played here at Romeo High School and not at the Michigan Star Sports Center. If you remember, he had that awful slip last year that invited Stephen Yunchai to score the second early goal, game that ended 2-0. They had a man sent off, Albion did in the second half. Then had to sit on the picnic table for a while behind the Albion bench. But anyway, Stars unable to clear. And Gabera with pace goes right by Umeda. Low cross to the penalty spot. Up and over, touched last by whom? It came off of Anthony Bowie, a corner now for Albion. Tyler Gabera, son of former U.S. international Jim. His mom, Karen, was capped 117 times for the U.S. women's national team. And we've already seen him in the first 10 minutes. Be awfully dangerous with his pace, breaking forward and causing problems.
Yeah, and if they can keep that attack coming from a wide width, multiple places, that's going to be hard for the Stars to really be ready to absorb those runs. They'll at least have to drop that whole back line, which will give space in front.
Bedoya's short corner is blocked. What kind of long throw-in does the Colombian have? That's a decent one. Flicked on, then away by Umeda. Partially cleared by Robert Yunchai. Here they come again. This is Anthony Patty. Deep cross, Makruva up high for it. Well, Makruva wasn't given a whole lot of space to get that away. I'm not sure the referee was looking.
Yeah, not sure if either the referees were not looking or they deemed, hey, you kicked into him, unless they're playing in it, playing into the path of the ball instead of just reverting and running away.
Well, they got away with it all the same.
Yep. 4 sets of eyes, and no one seemed anything amiss, so there we go. And
Ryan Homick, I think, is going to give Tatenda Makruva a talking to.
Yeah, many different ways that can go, but either way, trying to settle the situation down. Probably concerned it might happen again. Maybe just given that scenario.
Now you can bet everybody will be watching next time.
That's right. And Makruva, he likes to go fast, and the officials have seen him play before. They know he might go fast, so maybe he's just kind of giving him the score a little bit of how the game's going to be called. could have been fair enough of you saying, hey, if they're retreating, you're going to need to play around them, or I'll watch better next time.
Given away to Gabera, but he puts that straight out of play himself. Well, I beg your pardon, that came off of a Stars player last. Now it goes the way of the Stars. Bowie was asking for the throw-in to be taken quickly. He was in all kinds of space. It does find him. Here's Ezra Brown now on the left. Brown with a series of step-overs goes to ground. That's run out of play. Throw-in for the Stars. Tussling with Shinya Kodono. Former first-team All-Pac-12 player at Cal. Umeda back for Figby. Worried initially that might have led Shalbot a little too much. Shalbot keeps his run going, gets the ball from Yunchai, hangs up there for Ezra Brown, who is probably the wrong Michigan Stars player to be aiming across at.
But that was good from the Stars. They took what was given to them. They found a way to get Shalbot forward, and that was one of my concerns with the lineup today anyways, is are they going to have enough opportunities to get him forward? And that was certainly a time that they were able to. A little bit heavy pass, like you said, from Figba, but he was able to get on the end of it anyways, and in the end, he got a floated ball across, but at least he's shown he's able to get forward with the setup they have today.
It did just carry over the line. Guessing there's a few members of the Cyrus Tran fan club here this evening.
He always showed up well last year. That's part of soccer, right? Getting out in the community as he did when he was here with the Stars.
Finds its way to Anthony Bowie at the edge of the box, and that caroms off the football crossbar. I think I'm remembering correctly, there was a Japanese language school somewhere in the area that Cyrus went and spoke at a couple of times.
Yep, and they always showed up well. Got pictures taken with them afterwards. Every game that we were here, at least we saw them. So I imagine they're excited. They probably came to this Gold Star game as well last weekend.
Bet they did.
A few sports, they can make that connection. Soccer, hockey, you see it a lot of times where they've got a really great connection with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's so accessible.
Kodono will run onto this. Only has one runner through the middle. Back to Bedoya. Crosses deep. Shalbad turns it behind for a corner. And, of course, both of these teams, Michigan Stars and Albion San Diego, have a significant youth presence associated with them. Lots and lots of young Michigan Stars club kids are often at these games. Was one of the neat things last year over at the Michigan Star Sports Center was when teams' practices were done, everybody would just come and hang around and watch. I did enjoy that. 17th minute. Few meaningful scoring chances for either team. Maybe Daniel Bedoya can change that. Another short corner. Can he bend in the right kind of cross? That's a line drive. Merritt's running at it. That's sent in and rolled by Jonathan Bazayas. Right it to Tenda Makruva. Trying to go quickly and maybe a little too quickly for Anthony Bowie.
Yeah, skipped out the side volley real quick. Bowie wasn't ready for it to read it.
Ernest Mitchell played in college at both Marist and Florida Gulf Coast. Went to St. Benedict Prep in Newark, New Jersey. Tab Ramos, Claudio Reyna, Greg Berhalter all attended school there. Probably should have put Tab Ramos between Reyna and Berhalter, given their recent history, now that I think of it.
I see what you did there. Well done.
That was not intentional. That was the order. I absent-mindedly wrote them on my notes. Free kick for Michigan Stars.
You know, Messi was introduced over at Inter Miami, and Berhalter came to the screen. I was wondering if he got booed or if they ignored it or wondered what he was there for. You just never know which side you're on, Team Berhalter or Team Reyna.
Well, now that Greg is the national team boss again, we're all on the same team. That was a really good first touch from Yunchai.
I think the biggest applause is from Messi having Busquets come here. He wants those balls served in by somebody. He brought his friend.
Always travel with a friend if you can help it. That's why you and I
Yeah, that's right.
drive up here together. Anthony Bowie. Ooh, a chance here for Yunchai. Oh, off the underside of the bar. Well, they scored from a similar situation. A long throw-in from Anthony Bowie in the first half against LA Force. This is knocked back to Makruva. Glorious opportunity for Robert. He'll try and latch onto this as well. Ezra Brown running too. Almeida hooks that up for a throw-in near the corner flag. Starting to turn the screw a little bit here, though.
Yeah, they are, and you look at that opportunity, and there's two ways to take it: deflating or ride the kind of wave of excitement, endorphins. And they've got another chance right away to get another chance on goal, or at least to let it settle down a little bit.
Bowie will launch it long again. Almost dropped to Yunchai. Maybe could have wound up and had a go there. Umeda back wide. Not enough on it. Nearly found its way to Bowie anyway. That's a foul. High boot from Umeda on Tyler Gabera. The Stars have now hit each crossbar. Anthony Bowie hitting a football one, and Robert Yunchai hitting the frame of our goal.
You know, a lot of patience from Albion. Not sure what they're searching for right now. They just have one player high left. And then the result was playing the ball bouncing down the right side.
I'm not sure that is a great individual matchup
No.
for Albion. And we've seen Shinya Kodono. He is a terrific technical wide player, but when you've got a 6'2", 6'3" left back, you can cover so much ground. It's going to be very difficult to go by Ahmed Shaibu Jr.
Yeah, find his feet instead and let him play around him. You know, combine around him, combine out of it. It was just such a long build-up last time and nothing really going for it. Just seemed like they're out of sorts, or that's the ball they kept wanting. But Shabbat wasn't giving it to him. Maybe he's closed down that far switch, and now they look to open up trans centrally.
Would that be Trans Central Station or
well. If he
Cyrus Trans Central Station?
Yeah, if he dishes out an assist, I think we can go to that.
That's Bowie, who's down in a heap, grabbing at his right ankle. Beg pardon. Well, the last thing the Stars need are more injuries. Without much of a bench, Nick Nicola, the 17-year-old, and Niels Lelouch, the young French center back, are two that could come on. And it's not like they have a long rest period either, because they'll be in action against Inter Detroit in the Independent Cup Great Lakes Region Championship match Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
And last year we were up there for Metro Louisville that game against Metro Louisville, which went way later than it should have.
Yeah.
Sun as well as, if I remember right, Sun as well as in the game. But
were we playing by headlight
it was
at the
close.
end of extra time?
It was close at the end, but it wasn't the thing that NISA did with the UPSL, trying to do a little crossover.
I do like that. Not only is it a way to add kind of a cup competition into the season, but it's a great showcase for amateur players that maybe want to get spotted by a professional team and launch that part of their careers.
And if the NISA team has a deep enough bench at that moment, it allows them to play some players that aren't getting as much time anyways. Of course,
you got it.
When they get a little tight like this, it isn't exactly something they're looking forward to play deeper, because they already are. All right.
Line drive, direct free kick, but right at Makruva. Got his body behind it.
Then Bowie wave back on. So he re-enters the pitch.
Though that also waved, I think, the two guys we mentioned, Nicola and Lelouch, down to start warming up just in case. Chambu Jr., that was not where Hunter Olsen wanted that ball to be placed. Hunter Olsen was signed from Oakland County in USL League 2. He had a great college career at Calvin. 46 goals, 28 assists in 4 years. Twice got to the Division III Final Four. And a one-time National Midfield Player of the Year per D3Soccer.com. Out for a Michigan Stars throw-in just past the midway point of the first half. Well, we thought good scoring chances might be seldom seen tonight, and so far that has proven to be true.
They really have had enough to have one, though. That's kind of the disappointing thing. You think about Robert Yunchai's off the bar. A nice shot of it. A couple times we've had Albion into the box, and they felt like they've been unfairly knocked off the ball. The Stars and the official felt they were fairly knocked off the ball, so no call called.
Baranovsky there fouled Cyrus Tran.
Wait, seriously? Wait, that's how short this thing is?
I think they've rebuilt well, Albion. Last year they had Aliun Diakate, who's now with Flower City Union. And he was the second leading goal scorer in the league behind Marcus Nagelstad of Chattanooga. And this year, without that one dominant guy, Tran, Codono, Corey Lundin, Lennon Carrion, and Alexander Gluvasevic, all three of whom are available off the bench tonight, have scored twice. So they're getting little contributions from all over the place.
Yeah, a little tougher to plan against. So that's definitely an upside. At the same time, you definitely don't have one you're leaning on, that's for sure. Leaning on maybe a system. We actually saw in the last build-up, multiple runs from the front three, trying to time runs in behind. Ball's not being sent. But the Michigan Stars back line starting to adjust to it, dropping off where the runs were coming. So maybe as this game goes on, they'll look for the secondary run with the space opening up.
Here comes Codono, finding the feet of Gabara. Codono kept it going. Chance for the left-footed cross, right to Makruva. That was Bedoya making a run. Daniel Bedoya's got a really good pedigree. Former New York City FC player. Got loaned out to Hartford Athletic last couple of years with FC Tucson. Scored 6 goals in that time. Bowie for Ahmed Shaibu Jr. Adam Baranovsky, the Ukrainian vet, 33 years old. Working with a new center back partner tonight in Prosper Figby with the injury to Garrett Hogbin. A little bit of an overrun there by Albion, and then a poor ball really from Bowie. Leon Marich has hardly been involved the first 26 and a half minutes. Free kick to Albion.
Yeah, really, he's been searching for a couple of areas, but really the build-ups haven't found him. One that was played in behind his foot, probably his best opportunity.
Ezra Brown gets booked for being much too close to the free kick that Klazewski was trying to take. We had 2 sendings off on Friday. Deco Canon, the LA Force captain, and then Hugo Gomez, their goalkeeper, was sent off later after the winning goal scored by Leon Marich. Feels like the Stars, to that point, have had a difficult time finding Big Leon opportunities to get involved.
Yeah, they haven't, and with his movements, trying to put himself in different areas, it really had seemed, and of course we get to watch him a little bit more off the ball, being live here, but it seemed like his movements were designed to free him up a little bit. They're just not finding him, or he's not actually getting free as he thinks he is, which of course a striker is always onside and always open in their mind.
Goal kick for the Stars. That was Gabera trying to feed Cyrus Tran on the through ball. Makruva finally has guys where he wants them. For the long direct goal kick there, they're trying to get it to Marich.
Oh.
And another free kick to Albion San Diego.
Probably argument to be made there that Figby didn't go straight up. He was straight up and down, but moving forward, maybe we won that ball.
Finds Gabera. Nobody really there for the cross. Through Makruva's hands. Ahmed clears. That's Mitchell for Pineda. Bazeas on the turn. Brown turns him back. We'll make it to Codono. Klazuski, who's central for the moment. On Gabera, who continues to be a thorn in Michigan Stars' collective side. Got away from the challenge from Umeda right there. Chance for a cross from the left, put behind for a corner. Kind of threatening skies overhead now.
Yeah, nothing like the look of when we were driving up over the weekend, but definitely seems promising for a little bit of
yeah,
rain
Friday,
somewhere.
That was pretty unpleasant between Monroe and Detroit.
Yeah, they should really do something about that. And oh, yeah, not just the roads. Yeah, we're talking about the skies as well. Fair enough. Yeah, a little bit of no see driving just for a short amount of time, but
you had it covered though.
Yeah, that's right. Cleared up in time for us to play. I think they just had a little bit of a hold up, just like we're having right here, for a little excessive positioning. Maybe is the warning, but more than likely it's the player that was on to tend to Makruva. I mean, you can't mimic his movements, which he just thought he did. I mean, you can hold your ground, but you can't play the keeper as he just did.
Was very close to being bundled over the line. Dealt with partially by the Stars.
I was going to say, that was equal parts, probably a handball in there somewhere, as well as probably could have went across the line at some point. The ball bounced around as long as that was. So that's the last corner. We'll see what they do in the next one if they open things up a little bit after one compressed jam ball and just whipping it in there, see what happens.
Good stuff from Bedoya. Dealt with by Ahmed Shaibu Jr. Anthony Bowie goes down again. Well, he's already had to step off with an ankle issue. Is this it's the other ankle this time. Scored the winning goal against San Diego in the championship final last year on a Stephen Yunchai corner delivered to the near post. They'll have to carry on with the lack of very many available bodies that are fit and can come in. And, you know, we had kind of had it in the back of our minds. So that's knocked up there for Hunter Olsen. May have grazed his arm. Nobody saw it. Bowie's cross that went over the byline before he could get it back in. Tyler Gabera talk himself into a yellow card now?
He's trying.
He's doing his level best.
I get what he's asking for, but it wasn't called. We got to move on. It's just a slight adjustment of positioning, I think, from Hunter Olsen, not of himself, of the other player from Albion. I think that's what Gabera's taken issue with.
Aiming right for the fourth official on that ball upfield. Michael Kazera. He's still moving fine, Anthony Bowie, which is a good sign. Just to pick up that point from earlier, we were wondering maybe about a bit of lack of pace, especially up front in this particular Michigan Stars starting 11. Anthony Bowie is somebody that you really can't afford to have off the field.
No, and you think about a player as flexible too, where he can play on the pitch, and when you're already tight, you might need him somewhere else.
That's a great touch from Cyrus Tran. It's 1 against 3 for the moment. Now their support with Bedoya. His shot is blocked by Ahmed Shaibu, and Kadono was all by himself down the right if he had wanted to play for that angle instead. Here comes Hunter Olsen. Can't do anything with it, though. Anthony Patty is there.
Hey, momentum was always going away. To the far side, Marich was hoping to get the ball played into him, but that was never going to be in the cards with that momentum going to that far side of the field.
Patty was an elite goal scorer in high school at Lake Dallas. 57 goals is the school record there. And how often does it happen? You're an elite goal scorer in high school, then you move on to the next level and you're a center back or an outside back.
we were talking on the way up.
Yes,
Crystal Dunn going outside back, and on one side Kelly O'Hara on the other side, both coming up as phenomenal forwards. Yeah, amongst the better in the world up top, but the U.S. team, hey, you're outside backs. You get to go forward as much as you want. You get to go more forward than the forwards and the strikers do. You just have to come more back if you do go more forward.
Yunchai challenge for that. Won by Albion. Big yell from, is that Pineda?
Yep, officials just letting that play on and see what happens from here.
Here comes Bazeas, disrupted by Andres Shalbot. He's got a really talented younger brother, Sebastian, who plays in USL League 2 right now. Yellow card this time for Bowie. So Brown and Bowie each have been booked.
Yep, so that was from the earlier play, and I think the official consulted real quick between the fourth official and the AR are the ones that gave him that information in. And so that was the next stoppage. Doesn't want to take away the attack to award that yellow card, whether it was on his mind all right to do that or was waiting for input from his team. 4 sets of eyes on the game today. They even talk about if there's a fifth official. Now the fifth official gets to actually say what they saw as they keep adding officials, obviously, at the bigger events. Got the VR set of eyes as well, but we got to see that in the Gold Cup where they actually had to bring an official from a previous game back out to be an AR. I was excited because I'd missed the beginning of the game. Could not wrap my head around why there's so much time left until I found out what had happened. Official got hurt.
Merritt a step away from finding that. Ben Roach has had very little to do, the Albion goalkeeper. Sebastian Chalbot, by the way, the younger brother of Andres, is still alive. His team is anyway in the USL League 2 playoffs. Fort Wayne FC will host Flint City Bucks on July 21st. Though it's always interesting once these USL League 2 and UPSL and NPSL, where you maybe have college players in the summertime. Once you get to the postseason, there's a lot of guys that aren't there because they've been called back
Yes.
to their colleges.
Yeah, they've been highly encouraged probably to get back to school for the preseason fitness stuff or have things they got to take care of anyways. And
of course, if they've been playing all summer, they're already fit in theory.
Yeah. So they get them back in, and that's really so tough, those summer teams, keeping teams together, competitive day in, day out. And, oh, by the way, you still may need a team pushing to the end of July. So be careful not to ostracize the wrong players with the wrong calendar availability. Yeah, I think it's going to be a handball in there, and then up the arm.
Arm or a little bit of a push on Prosper Figby, dealer's choice.
I kind of feel like the official, you're not pushing him over. You're using him to stretch your calves maybe, you're leaning against him. There we go. You're seeing him push him up now, trying to get the ball into a mass of players. Oh, went the other way. So trying to find out Hunter Olsen to knock it back across to where the massive players were, but
nobody there to win a second ball. Pineda for Gabara. Yunchai pursuing him. Little flick of a heel for Patty. Codono. Tran wanted it quickly. Can he win the foot race with Baranovsky? Baranovsky shoulder to shoulder. Throw in for Albion. And let that be a lesson to anybody that's running with Artem Baranovsky. That could be you too. Five minutes left in the first half, plus stoppage time. Here comes Ernest Mitchell. Tran for Bedoya. Just a throw in. Bedoya maybe go down a little easily there.
Yeah, to me it seemed way too easy. Pick the feet up. If there was contact, embellish for sure. That's how the officials saw it. I say that, but then
I was going to say that's interesting because
unless,
nothing was given, just a throw in, and then no more signaled to
unless
Baranovsky.
that was for the mouth maybe of.
Could be.
Calling for embellishment or whatnot.
Let's find Brown. Yes, it will, and he's got runners now. Here comes Hunter Olsen, and Leon Marriage through the middle. That's not a good ball in full flight from Olsen, who knew it right away.
Just ran too far, and Roach was out far enough. I mean, Ben Roach was out far enough. Maybe you just keep going. I know you want to get it to the big man making that run to Leon Marriage, but maybe you just keep going to make Roach retreat back to his goal.
Codono skipping away from Ahmed Shaibu Jr. that time, getting to the edge of the box. Good challenge from Ezra Brown. Here comes Bowie. So good at bringing the ball forward. Olsen wins a free kick against Pineda, who hasn't been with Albion for very long. Played 72 minutes on Friday against Gold Star. Last club was Chattanooga Red Wolves, the other Chattanooga side in USL League One. But has been without a club the last year and a half or so. Yunchai for Brown. Good stop at the near post. Put behind by Ben Roach. Michigan Stars have a corner.
Great reaction by Brown, too. Launching himself that quick. And then Roach equal to the reaction as well with a point-blank save. Fortunately for him, it was up high, but I don't think Brown really could have done anything else with it except for redirect it as quickly as possible. That ball's down towards the ground. It's in.
Olsen's corner. Aronofsky or Marich, the obvious targets. That's deep, too deep, knocked around like a pinball. Stars wanted handball, call isn't coming. Daniel Pineda is tripped up by Brown.
That's a problem.
That's his second yellow, followed by a red, and he's off. Michigan Stars will have to play the last 47 minutes with 10 men.
And it didn't look to be like that foul was on purpose. However, it is what it is at that point. Looked like he's trying to get around to the other side. Yunchai was to the inside of him, clips him. Totally understand the situation by the official. Tough spot to be in. And Braun was great today.
Yeah, he's played very, very well. But he will take no further part in this match.
You just got to remember what was the first card for. It was encroachment on a restart.
You and I saw a match earlier this season where a player's second yellow card, not in these, second yellow card was encroachment on a free kick.
Oh, that was actually absolutely baffling to get a red card on encroachment.
That was Sebastian Chalbud's Fort Wayne FC, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think it was. It was just bizarre. Bizarre timing in the game, too, as well.
So a team that was numerically challenged anyway, without many substitute options.
Well, I guess the good news is you don't have to substitute for them. So you still have your two subs and that you know are definitely available.
Makruva had to get down quickly. Mitchell won that in the air for Anthony Patty.
That was a big stretch for a silver lining there.
3 minutes of stoppage time. Well, we said we wanted to see fewer red cards than we did on Friday. Well, we've only seen half as many now.
I mean, at least you think about, I'd much rather see that red card than I guess what we had over the weekend.
That's true. That was absolute mayhem at times in the last 20 minutes. This hasn't been that. Guevara is down.
Probably questioning now, if he sits out that Sunday game, if he does have another suspension for another game, does that clear him or not, since it's not technically a NISA game but is a NISA tied game. So that's something for the league to discuss. Have a yellow card for
Makruva now?
Yeah.
So Brown has already received 2 yellow cards. Bowie's on one. Makruva now on one. Bedoya for Tran. Cadono out wide. Actually, that yellow may have been given to Prosper Figby. That was the announcement that was just made. Here's Gabera with a chance at the edge of the box. That hits Figby in the chest. Well, the Stars really have to batten down the hatches now, a man down. Down goes Shalbot.
I think the original foul was just shoulder to shoulder that was called, but they got stepped on. I think that's what the screaming was for.
Doesn't feel good.
No. I don't suggest it.
It's his old teammate who did that to him as well.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is pretty much the last possession of the game at this point.
The half, anyway.
Or yeah, good point. Of the half, unless lightning comes in.
One by Albion in the air, and you were right. Final action of the first half. Well, not many clear-cut scoring opportunities for either side. Robert Yunchai hitting the crossbar came closest. And then Ezra Brown, right before getting sent off, was smartly saved at the near post by Ben Roach. Beg pardon, but Brown then sent off for the second yellow card in the 44th minute. It's going to be an interesting and maybe difficult to navigate second half for the Stars.
Yeah, and Ezra Brown's one of those players, too, that's dynamic enough the way he plays it. He could have been slotted into an outside back spot or somewhere up. I mean, he could have moved about anywhere. So that's the biggest, yes, you're losing a player of 11, but of the 11 that you lose a guy that can play a lot of places. And so who you're down to now that really could go anywhere, now it's Bowie, who's already had that knock on the right ankle, a little bit on the left ankle as well. So Stars up against it right now. The good news for them, though, it's 0-0. Now you only have to hold this score for 45, look for an opportunity forward, and you could sneak out with one.
So halftime here in Romeo, Michigan, a rematch of last year's championship final. Goalless between Michigan Stars and Albion San Diego. You're watching NISA on 11. For the start of the second half here on 11 midweek NISA. Thanks for joining us wherever you may be all around the world tonight. 0-0 between Michigan Stars and Albion San Diego. Mason Lowry and Chris Black. Nice to have you here. 10-11 this entire second half. If you're the Michigan Stars, how do you set up down a man? What do you do?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? As this game starts over, I mean, do you want to start parked the bus? Maybe you need to, just because of where you are, not just on the field with your players down a man, but limited substitution options as well. If you could run some players into the game, that's one thing, but that is not the option today. We saw Bowie knocked up a little bit earlier in both the right and the left ankle. That's tough. That could be tough unless he's good to go now. My question is going to be, have they moved players? I mean, are they going to drop to maybe a 3-5-2 or 3-5-1? Sorry, and give him an extra player. A 3-5-1, because the Albion's been looking for those three players. They've been trying to cycle them through to get them across that back line in behind, and they really haven't done as good of a job of what they committed players for. That being said, just throwing that out there as an option, but probably not something they're ready to do. Hey, we don't even have a normal regular back line. Maybe we don't go to that right away. And it looks like they haven't anyways, as we see Shalbad slide out to the right. But, what an interesting chess match. That'll probably happen about 20 minutes in. You imagine that's probably maybe where, if the score is still 0-0, maybe that's the moment they drop off. I mean, right now they're just showing on the Michigan Star side, just two players up. Robert Yunchai on the right side, Leon Marich on the left side, to put pressure right away in that drop. So maybe the question is, who else pushes forward? Does Bowie shift forward on a regular basis, or are they going to leave that to somebody else?
So Albion San Diego in black and red, Michigan Stars in white. Ezra Brown sent off in the 44th minute for a second yellow card. We saw a lot of really patient, kind of neutral passing and build-up play from Albion in the first half. I wonder if we'll see more of the same to try and pull the Stars out of position. Even with only 10, that's easier said than done. Jonathan Bazeas left that for Cyrus Tran. Daniel Bedoya, really technically good player, tried to slide it through for Tran. Baranovsky read it well. I beg pardon, Andres Shalbad read it well. Shinya Kadono continues that kind of losing battle with Ahmed Shaibu Jr. down the far flank this time in the second half.
Oh, he fooled me.
Bowie gives it up immediately. Well, they do have possession, the Stars. They really can't afford to squander it like that. Neat little touch, and the shot goes wide. That was Gabara, set up by Cyrus Tran. Tell you what, if Albion could find a goal and head back west with 6 points from their Michigan swing, that would be a real feather in the cap.
Yeah, that's a really nice trip. And, conversely, you look at the Stars at this point, now down a man and beat up as it is. Yeah, they got the 3 points on the weekend. If they come out with 4 right now, they can hold on this tie. They'd probably be happy with it.
Given the circumstances, I think that'd be just fine. You mentioned a nice trip. It was a not-so-nice trip that led to that free kick. Umeda has to go all the way back to Tenda Makruva, former Zimbabwe international. Prosper Figby for Robert Yunchai. Short ball to Shalbad. Bowie's ball through was blocked.
Yeah, without that third attacker up top, it's going to be allow Albion to press in a little bit more. I don't know if that's what's done Bowie in twice in his last 2 opportunities to distribute. But you often forget about that. Just your space that you're able to open up another team really is hurt badly by losing a player in the attack. So they got to find that space in the attack. It might be over the top, but you also don't want to send Leon Marich on runs all day long.
Oh my gosh. This is my job.
Bazayas lost out to Shalbot. Over goes Bowie. Fouled by Bazayas.
That's the last warning then. Official pointed out the 3 locations of his last 3 fouls. Saying that is enough, so Bedoya will join the yellow card club if he gets another one.
My gosh. What the heck? Oh my god.
That's clipped through for Bowie. Keeper's way out. Ben Roach was hanging out on the edge of his 18-yard box. Well, you thought the ball over the top might be the way that Michigan Stars could attack, and it nearly worked to a T right there.
Yeah, if you can keep having Albion press up a little bit and just wait and spring every once in a while, space them out enough and time a good run, that might be where it comes from. They obviously don't want to run Bowie into the ground either. Yeah, Marich just waiting for that ball. He's set up, just didn't come fast enough for him.
Shalbot, it's going to hang up there for a while, and Roach takes it. Olsen running underneath him.
Probably wondering, so how am I recording this game right now? Well, just pure instinct.
Patty not given a whole lot of room to advance forward. Yunchai closed him down.
I'm probably sweating more than Michigan Stars right now.
Nada, all he can do is inch forward and just kind of meander around. That'll allow Marich to chase. It's Luis Almeida. Bedoya with Yuncha hanging out on his, literally on his shoulder. Usually you talk about an attacker playing off the shoulder of the last defender. Yuncha hanging on for dear life.
Nice
Went
tackle.
to ground there. That's well timed. McCriv can do is slice that into the bleachers for a throw-in. Taken quickly by Albion. Taken rather poorly by Albion in the end. Didn't do anything with it. Marich heading down for Umeda. And Olsen was dispossessed there by Mitchell. Well done. Here comes Gabera. A touch to the outside. Ran right into Ahmed Shaibu Jr.
You seem like a guy that would say that you have a main on Mario Kart.
Here's Bedoya as Bazayas to his left. Finds him. Tries to cut in. Went past Shalbon, but Makruva there along with Figby.
Maragos is good, yeah. Is there any particular one you don't like, or you just don't like it in general?
Just over Marich.
It's on the 30 yard line. No, it's on the 45. 50.
Bedoya waiting for movement, finally gets some. Cyrus Trant. Couldn't find Bedoya on the overlapping run there. Makruva. Yeah, put that out of play for a corner. So can Albion take advantage?
And in swinger, only one player in front of Makruva this time. It's a pile in front of him last time. They still try to find near post, but not quite enough to get it done.
When does Taco Bell close? Midnight?
Well, it is said sometimes that it's almost more difficult to attack 11v10 than it is 11v11. And they haven't exactly found it easy to pick the Stars apart the first 9 minutes of the second half.
No, and actually only a little slower than they even were in the first half when they were
Which
very
was already a
methodical.
pretty deliberate pace.
Yes, it was.
Karam off of Bowie to Kadono.
Of course, you would speak from experience.
Clearance didn't work out. Figby can only nod that down at the edge of the box. The shot is right at Makruva. Shelbot went long off the forehead of Hunter Olsen. Yeah, they may just be content, the Stars, to defend, and try and go extremely direct when they do have it.
Yeah, just wait for a counter here and there. If they get three good chances, they're probably happy with it the rest of this way, if that's all they got, as long as they can hold and not concede.
They may aspire to 3 good chances.
Yep, and then with the entry of a player or two from their side, things may change, but they still have to deal with the player or 7 from Albion warming up right now.
Umeda with a poor touch. Kadono left it for Tyler Gabera. Bedoya, the Colombian, neat little touch. Found its way to Gabara again. Umeda has to scramble it clear. Down goes Maric, free kick. That will relieve the pressure a bit. Almeida going right through the back of the big man.
Yeah, and that's obviously the contact that Maric was assuming he would get. He's not going to do anything with that ball anyways, dragging it in 10 yards. Being the highest player for the Stars, receiving the ball 10 yards in his side, it was kind of always about receiving that pressure, more likely getting fouled. If something goes extremely his way, turning and taking on.
Figby defending deep. We know Cyrus Tran has plenty of pace. There's the shot. It's wide of the near post. Still goalless. I have a feeling Cyrus wants nothing more than to score against his former club.
Oh, yeah, what a trip that would be for him.
To come here and score twice.
Yeah, score twice. Get goals against 2 different opponents, same field.
Oh, breathe air.
Shelbut played that well. Maric, well, can they sustain some possession? Hasn't happened yet this half. Outside of the boot, looking for Olsen against Ernest Mitchell. Throw in for the Stars. Anthony Bowie will walk over to serve this in.
You see retreating Shalbad, then coming back. They're trying to be very careful with players forward, moving Figby now into it. 3 field players goal side of the highest Albion player so far.
Short traditional throw in, probably the right decision there. So often they can load up guys into the 18, try and win that first ball somewhere around the near post and flick it on.
Yeah, the tough part about those long throws is if they're not directed well enough, you're in a difficult position to be countered against.
Bit better angle for it there.
Oh, asking for a high boot from the bench. Not coming. But the official's going to stop it immediately, though, because ahead.
That's Olsen. Well, the Stars were frustrated at first because they felt they had the advantage in possession, but can't really complain too much when it's your own guy who's down and grabbing his head.
Yep, and whether you see contact with the head or not, as soon as a player is showing it's a possible head injury, the official needs to make that call immediately. It's like there's some confusion. You can even hear from the crowd yelling, it's in the head, call a foul. Well, just because the official stopped it doesn't mean he saw contact with the head. He just sees a player holding head and has to make that leap, and he's over talking to the AR right now trying to see if they can have a discussion, make sure he didn't miss something that he saw and vice versa.
I bet they took inspiration from Kowalski.
So Olsen has made his way off, hopefully from the Stars' point of view, soon to be waved back on.
And as he walks by the center, that's not really good news for the Stars at this point.
Olsen is just to the right of the tent that you see on the right of your screen. Just handed him a bottle of water. Hopefully that's all. The bench is essentially Noah Lawrence, the substitute keeper, Nils Lelouch, and Nicholas Nicola. That's about all. Through to Ben Roach. Nice try. Olsen makes his way back on. Throw in right in front of the Stars bench. That's well done by Baranovsky. And hit quickly, but not central enough for Leon Marich.
Yeah, probably would need to be bent in a little bit with in swing, but Robbie Unchai, he knew he had to try to go faster or it wasn't going to happen anyway, so might as well go quick. If it works out, great. If not, hey, we're just still defending. We've got more of that anyways.
Let's see you go play. He's not wrong. Don't be cringed down to the pins. This matchup is brought to you by
Everyone's safe. Marich behind the ball for the Stars. They've got the throw. Albion San Diego will make their first change momentarily. Anthony Bowie is pulled back. Alexander Gluvasevic will come in. Scored twice against Flower City Union last month. He will replace Jonathan Bazeas. In the 63rd minute.
Are you left nostril or right nostril?
Certainly a change of center forward philosophy. Cyrus Tran moves, I think, to the right side of either midfield or a front three. Ronaldo Pineda receives a yellow card. So you go from having the 5'9" Cyrus Tran up top to the 6'5" Gluvasevic. Formerly of IMG Academy and Orlando City 2.
You're right. Yeah.
Figby bashes long. One in the air by Albion. Marich is offside. Flag up by the AR on the near side from Yunchai's delivery. Andres Shalbat has had a really good game for the Stars. Kept his run going here. Can he beat Pineda to it? He can. Can he play the cross? He can. Marich, did he head down? Who did that come off of? It did come off of the big fella, so a goal kick for San Diego.
That was a quick turn of events, and Shalbat's been so good today. But you think he's diving in, but just right around the attacker, toe pokes a ball away, stays on it, committed to it. That's how that run started. And the service was dangerous enough to allow Marich to get a chance on it.
We should just do the NFL.
Patty. Codono's now on the left with Tran moving to the right. Can he get a cross in? Blocked. That go behind? Yes, it did. Well, they were doing short corner routines early on, Albion.
Yeah, Patty was the last one hanging around for that one too, and now he's even in.
Defensively, everyone in the box for Michigan Stars. At this stage, a man down, that's no surprise. Good hands. Olsen raced up to offer an outlet. Went short instead. Now they go long. That's Bowie trying to pick out Robert Yunchai. Olsen made the run. That's a lovely ball. Good stop by the foot of Ben Roach.
Yeah, well served in by Robert Yunchai. Right in the path of Hunter Olsen.
Umeda for Yunchai. Tried to play it back to him. It was blocked by Albion. Ahmed Shaibu Jr. has rarely been this far upfield this evening.
Yeah, I thought I heard a coach yelling for him to drive too, and he still held up a little bit, so maybe he felt that's far enough for him today.
Umeda. Marich will reach this at the corner flag. Nobody making a run, though.
Yeah, you wonder if that was probably always about trying to win a corner for Marich.
All things considered, Michigan Stars, they've dealt with this well as Yunchai goes to ground, deflects into the path of Tyler Gabera, who's come close to scoring a couple of times tonight.
What about bowling? What about badminton? What about badminton?
Patty.
It's the one where it's like, it's hard to explain around.
Pineda and Bedoya are the two that can really pull the strings for Albion.
It's perfect timing too, because it looked like Pineda was trying to show pulling the strings to try to get his far target to come to him, pantomiming it out.
And Bedoya couldn't knock that off of Figby. We've only seen the one sub so far, Gluvasevic coming in for Bazeas. Michigan Stars outfield subs, all two of them, continue to warm up. It's possible you might see Nick Nicola at some point. That release, Codono. Oh, a shot from the edge of the box, just over the top between the two crossbars. He cut in well. He hit it hard, but couldn't keep it down. Still 0-0.
Really even had a chance to drive a little closer if he wanted to. Of course, he had himself set up what he thought was pretty well.
Another change now for Albion. Pineda goes off, and Corey Lundeen, one of those 5 guys who have scored twice this year for them, will come in. In fact, he scored against Michigan Stars last month, a game that ended 1-1.
But if it was a hot dog eating competition, that'd be entertaining, right?
You could hear that thump from here. Almeida winning it in the air. Bedoya with a chance to cut in and play a nice ball for Cadono. Another corner. Albion have had plenty of them tonight.
With all the 18 girlfriends you have, I feel like you would have gotten in the fight in your life.
Daniel Bedoya, born in Columbia, moved to Queens, New York when he was 8 years old.
Okay, yeah. Oh.
Went near post and headed away, dealt with by the Stars. Won back, though, by Albion. Bedoya, interesting angle for the cross. Makruva challenges and beat Mitchell and Lundeen to it. Ahmed Shaibu. Olsen won't be able to keep it in.
Olsen made that nice run vertically down, but then had to hold up his run cut inside. So by the time he received that ball, as you imagine, a little fatigue maybe setting in as well. That touches well across his body and ran with the field. Certainly understand why you don't want to send a ball right away until Meta's ready for it, as he was. He waited. Hit a little bit late, but at the same point, it's a great opportunity for a transition goal.
Lazuski had to go back to Bedoya. Cadono against Shalbad. Wondered if Bedoya might line up a shot. Finds Gluvasevic instead. Who goes down maybe a little easy at the edge of the box.
Yeah, Figby gave him the get up so the official didn't have to.
Gluvasevic making it tough on Baranovsky right now. Having to circle the wagons and go back to Makruva.
I think it's, as a substitution coming in that front line, it's really required. I mean, you've got to be a pest. Make that back line serve a ball early. Don't let them get a quick counter goal after a turnover. And a defensive forward is probably almost as dangerous as an attacking forward at this point in the game. Just trying to force a mistake from Michigan Star's back line and hurry up the attack.
Cadono cuts in. Cadono has a shot. Figby blocks. All the way to Marich. Left Almeida in his wake.
Oh.
And Almeida, Marich now is pulled up.
Yeah, that may be the first sub of the game anyways.
Yeah.
Letting Nicola run up top. Be a defensive presence and attacking presence as well. Vertical threat for 15 to 18 minutes.
Have the energy to chase and maybe run down lost causes. And Marich is really not moving all that well at the moment. Lundeen. Bedoya. Chance for a shot. And it's in! Kissed off the inside of the far post. Daniel Bedoya, the goal that's been coming, is finally here. 1-0, Albion San Diego in the lead. That is a really well-taken finish by Daniel Bedoya.
He found enough space to not only receive the ball comfortably, but then get his body around it. In-swinger to the far post, curving around the outstretched to Tenda Makruva. inside enough of the post that just bounced right across and into the goal.
Well, they got to go chasing it now, Michigan Stars. Trying to avoid just their second defeat of the season in league play. They were also bounced by Indy 11 in the U.S. Open Cup right at the start of the season. Free kick goes against Ahmed Shaibu Jr. Gets a yellow card.
I don't get it. It's stupid.
He was incredulous with that one. He spun around. Spun around the air. His mind was that he was fouled, not doing the fouling.
You have to take more chances, more risks now defensively if you're the Stars. Ahmed Shaibu Jr. Advantages played. He might have to be careful here because he's already on a yellow. He was just booked a minute ago. You would think from a game management standpoint that's maybe a don't do anything silly, don't do it again.
Yeah, you're already losing. Let's not make this game worse. It's easy to say when we're not tired. We haven't had to do this broadcast a man down
That's true.
For over half the game.
I've done my share like that, trust me.
Yes.
Can Olsen find this? He can. Hunter Olsen, we know he's got pace. A chance to tie it up. But Ben Roach had his near post covered.
And Merritt just slowed a little bit, so he wasn't going to be able to join really into that attack. He was more than anything else. He's probably just going in there for the rebound. So Olsen had to have a go early.
Shinya Kadono couldn't find a teammate. Anthony Bowie got caught stepping on the ball. Peels away from Corey Lundeen, though, racing into space. Stumbles, wins a free kick. Anthony Bowie, if you're reading lips, wants a yellow. Won't get one. Has to settle for the free kick. Olsen will serve it in. Shalbot is back. And Makruva, obviously. Olsen's ball in, skims off of an Albion San Diego head. This is Baranovsky. The center back can maybe get a cross in or hammer one hard at goal. Instead, that's out for a throw in on the other side of the pitch.
Great opportunity for the Stars. Obviously not what they wanted out of it. They got two chances on goal there. Come away empty-handed.
Robert Unshine was hanging onto that ball for a very long time. Well, when you're a goal up and a man up, nobody wants to take a throw-in. Kotaro Umeda will come off. And Nicholas Nicola comes in. Two up top then, maybe?
Going to three in the back. Sliding across the back, and looks like Figby will be in the middle, and Shalbot is the right back, which the tough thing about that is you lose Shalbot in the attack a little bit, but at this point you're trying to hang on only down by one and try to get one more. So you got to give somewhere. something tells me he'll still find a way to get forward, maybe just not as early or often as prior.
Another free kick. Olsen's delivery was a pretty decent one last time. Really high line. Olsen, Marich! Smacks the crossbar in frustration that he couldn't put that on frame.
Yeah, great opportunity there. The oddity that I was seeing, though, was almost all the stars were lined up offside. If you saw that, and still Albion gave way right before the strike. I'm not really sure the strategy by either team employed there, but it actually worked the Stars, I think, favor at the end, but almost a chance with it.
Kodono flicks it on for Glavasevic. To Makruva, though. Second goal obviously would put this away for Albion. Just behind Shalbut. Decent challenge. Lundin went out anyway. Marich trying to run off that little knock from earlier. He's been carrying a bit of an Achilles issue anyway.
Why is the clock say 80 minutes?
And then after what we saw with Marich pulling up today, you'd imagine he's a player that might be taking Sunday off if they can talk him into it.
I mean, would you want to be the one to tell him?
No. Then maybe
For your own good, big fella.
Yeah.
Good ball for Lundin. Cross was behind everybody.
And if that is the case, then that would allow Nicholas Nicola maybe to play more to his natural position as a center striker.
Lundin found space. Formerly of Point Loma Nazarene University. Was first, second, and third team, all Pac West. 3 different seasons.
That's good clarification.
Yeah, you can't do it all at once unless the league is really, really small.
They do. That's how I got my gym credit.
Glavasevic lost out to Figby, who in turn gave it up to Cyrus Tran. Able to pass his way out of it, though. Baranovsky gets clipped. 82nd minute. Marich a bit deeper now. Poked it through. Found Nick Nicola. Nicola, can he burst through and maybe put a shot on frame? He's kept possession well. And Yunchai just hesitated a bit and then wrestled Shinya Kodono down.
We could see a little bit why Nick Nicola is a high target. He did well there, obviously muscled a little bit away from the ball, but he was dangerous. I mean, I'm sure some people are calling for him to fall down and go down easy.
Helped get that back from Lundin. Marich for Yunchai, just straight offside. Boy, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, surprise there.
There's a rare occasion in which he had 2 runners to aim at as well. Nicola making a near post run and Olsen to the back post. And Niels Lelouch, the other outfield player, now set to come on, and he will replace Robert Yunchai.
Serves, tell you what, serves some really nice balls. So you think about some of the balls he
certainly
played
did.
in.
Nearly scored.
Yep, and nearly scored as well.
So Niels Lelouch, young Frenchman from Marseille, this would make more of an orthodox back 3. It would allow Andres Shalba to pinch up the flank where Yunchai had been.
They're watching men's tennis at Wimbledon.
Yeah, no kidding. Figby, in case you couldn't tell from the noise, won the header. Makruva, well, that's risky. He gets away with a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And struggled a little bit in the last game here, but survived it in the end. But was a little bit not himself, it seemed like last game. Was his normal risk-taking, but the touch was just a little bit off. Might have been a little bit of the wet turf.
You know, we were enjoying Kadono v. Ahmed Shaibu Jr. in the first half. In the second half, it's been Gluvasevic against Figby. Figby's had his number. Baranovsky racing forward. And then a poor ball. I'm not sure there was much of a lane to slot that through.
Yeah, and by the time he served it as well, that the runners were offside. So he might have tried to make a little adjustment and mishit it. Shalbad was getting up the near side of the pitch. Might have been an option if he could have hit it with his left.
Swept to Lundin. Gluvasevic was on his heels. Yeah, it took Shalbot and Nicola, everybody else, a while to realize, hey, that's not going to go directly to Ben Roach.
Yeah, you can imagine why Shalbad might hold that run up a little bit after putting the full shift in. It's got me Nicola all day long. Keep running. He's done a good job of that, trying to stay active, take some of the load off of Leon Marich.
Couple of changes for Albion San Diego. Cyrus Tran going off, Lennon Carrion comes on, and Daniel Bedoya, whose goal right now is the difference, will also depart.
I can't believe that we are recording a soccer game and you ask, what is your opinion?
That's two guys that were really active in the game to this point.
Misael Mendoza, I believe, was the other player to come on.
Five minutes of stoppage time. Is that what he's trying to say? He held the 5 up, but a little early for that.
3.5 minutes of regular time
Yeah,
remaining.
so I'm not sure what that was, or maybe I was just more of, hey, it's a good time to tell him what it's going to be unless something changes.
Makruva catches right on the edge of the 18.
And was well out of the box when he rolled the ball out. For those keeping score
right
at
in
home.
front of the linesman, incidentally.
The only thing I could think of is maybe the AR saying, well, he did bump into you. The Albion player bumped into him before he did it.
Yeah.
We're just got to let it go and play maybe. Or those lines even get to the ARs as well as the players sometimes. Maybe we just got done listening to the Albion San Diego bench yelling about the Makruva May being out of bounds when he received that bouncing ball.
Leon Marich finally crowded out by Ernest Mitchell. And Marich fouls him. I think he came down on Ernest Mitchell, maybe. Fellow center back Almeida helping him to his feet.
this point, as he's walking, I would have had to guess cramped calf over getting stepped on. So.
Or a bit of both.
Yeah, a bit of both. Or well, no, he was healed. I see him running now. He's good.
He's run it off. That's given away by Olsen, who could not link up with Shaibu Jr. Gluvasevic. Figby does well again, getting back. That would have really put this one to bed. Free kick. Patty gets a yellow card. Shalbot gets back to his feet.
Yeah, he knew that was coming, dragged his foot a little bit and got the foul, and he knew where he was. Good soccer IQ right there. Dragged his foot a little bit.
Yeah, we usually talk about professional fouls from the defender's point of view, not the attacking player.
He knew that was coming. I think he realized, you know what, it'll be better to have a set piece from here. I'm not going to get very far.
Hunter Olsen.
He's asking for 10. He is correct. That is not 10. Close.
Yeah, he was only given about 6.
Yep. There we go.
And it's still only 7.
Yeah, and he took the obligatory step forward after the referee turned his back. He's still writing down his books. Got to get the yellow card in there, which the official has accounted for because now it's 6 minutes of stoppage time, which we are starting right now. So that was probably to account for one injury and a yellow card since he turned in 5.
Olsen's ball, well, it might just work out. Baranovsky for Nikola, who was off.
Yep, he just strayed just a little bit. He was waiting for a ball, and the Albion line stepped.
Figby headed that down. Shaibu with a defensive touch. Stayed in for Lundin. Good skill from him. Mendoza in the pink boots was held off by Shaibu. Bang long, Nikola chasing after it with Almeida. Here comes Nick Nikola, a chance maybe to equalize. Good goalkeeping by Roach. Shalbot had it blocked. Went to ground, Cadono skipped away and does so again, this time from Lelouch. Almost went over the line, but Cadono just kept it in. Lelouch takes him down. The throw in, nobody up there. Drop behind Lelouch. Stars have possession back. You may see Makruva inch forward a little bit as well. Olsen wanted a slice from Mitchell. Cadono trying to race away from Andres Shalbot. Off of Lelouch. Just might stay in, and it does for Figby. Gluvasevic wanted a free kick his way, didn't come. Well, might they get one more chance? Michigan Stars to equalize. They've played the entire second half, a man down. Teresa Brown was sent off right at the end of the first half. Here comes Maric. Nikola can keep this in. Few to aim at. That's rolled into Ernest Mitchell. Stars have to be absolutely gassed right now. And Gabera, well, if he could have played that a little bit quicker, he would have had Mendoza making a run, who's fresh off the bench.
And all the credit, Hunter Olsen recovering on that far side, and he's the one that keeps the ball alive.
Drops to Marich. Can he do anything with it? Scored a late winner on Friday. There's the cross, and caught by Roach.
Yeah.
That did cross the line, however.
Yep.
The Stars have a corner.
Yep. And now you know McCruva's up. He's been waiting for that green light. It makes the run up.
You know, he does have one goal already this year, a
Yeah.
late penalty kick in a 2-0 win over Maryland Bobcats. He couldn't possibly, could he?
5 minutes in the stoppage time. Fourth official doing what he can to console the Albion coaching staff.
Hunter Olsen's corner. Everybody up for Michigan Stars. Roach flapped at it. He's off the line. That's a scuff. Cleared out for a throw-in for the Stars. There may be time to take it.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Bowie racing over. McCruva retreats.
5.5 in.
He's still in this half of the field, though. Bowie headed on. Back post. Oh, nobody there to take a touch. Really, that's the ideal long throw-in flicked on
Yes,
from the near post. Somebody has to be at the back to stab it in.
Even if you don't start from that wide area when the throw initially happens, you've got to have someone at least dropping off into that area so you can crash back in, keep that ball alive, let alone for a touch-in like that. Just keep that ball alive. And assuming a little bit extra time added on for the 2 opportunities of time wasting.
Here comes Cadono. Do you go to the corner flag? Do you try and put a ball in? That's what he's trying to do. Stumbled against Lelouch.
Oh, wow.
Shelba tries to win it back and does. Time for maybe one last Michigan Stars attack. They've got a throw in. Ryan Holmick looks at his watch.
Yeah, the original stoppage time is now gone. The question is just how much did he add for the time wasting right with 2 segments right into the stoppage time.
Full time. And Albion, San Diego, what a Michigan road trip for them. They come to Romeo High School. They take out Gold Star Detroit on Friday 1-0. They beat Michigan Stars by the same scoreline here on Tuesday. Winning goal in the second half from Daniel Bedoya in the 73rd minute. Peach of a finish, edge of the box. Tucked it between Tatenda McCruva and the back post. An admirable effort as well by Michigan Stars with 10 men the entire second half. Came close to scoring a couple of times too.
Yeah, and we came in not expecting that many opportunities to score. Yeah, we only get the 1 goal, but we just ran through all the opportunities to score. Robert Yunchai's off the crossbar all the way up to the last minute of stoppage time. A ball just bouncing to the far side of the post. So many opportunities, and 2 teams that had to gut it out a little bit today. The Stars especially man down as well, trying to make the most of it. 2 short benches. Albion was able to get into theirs. 2 players in for the Stars wasn't quite enough on the day, but you don't know if another player would have gotten them over the finish line anyways with a goal. But game on until the end. That's all you can ask for.
It'll be really interesting to see what kind of team Michigan Stars are able to put out on Sunday against Inter Detroit in the Independent Cup.
Yeah, bring your boots if you're coming to watch. I'm not sure how the transfer system works and how much of a head. No, just kidding. No, they obviously the last time we got the host head against Metro Louisville, they played a little bit different lineup anyways, pulled some players in. So I'm assuming that's along the lines they're going to take it. But at this point, it's now just survive, get on to the next game as well. But yeah, still sitting well in the year. So many games in hand by the Stars team going forward that still sitting more than good enough. But obviously they're going to be disappointed they didn't pull a point out of this.
Hats off to Albion, San Diego. 1-0 winners over Michigan Stars here tonight. For Chris Black and all of our crew, this is Mason Lowry saying so long from Romeo High School. You've been watching NISA on 11.